Hey everyone, Dan here. We are about 15 minutes before close on Thursday, March 11th, and wanted to look at some of the stocks we've been tracking the last few days or weeks. Kick things off with AMC. AMC had a pretty good day today. It ran up quite a bit in the pre-market, but then sort of struggled throughout the trading day and now is starting to recover back a little bit. And it's, not unexpectedly hitting against its 1029 resistance level that we had drawn in previously. It was unable to hold the support here. I still think that, we're holding pretty strong. It's good to see that it didn't continue to fall through this 1009 level because it has a lot of space to fall through there. So, I'd like to see it get back at least into this mid 10 support range so that there's a couple of layers underneath it of support, as opposed to right now there's sort of like just one and then there's like a pretty big fall into the nines if it can't hold that. So that's what I'd be looking for. Still have these sort of near-term upward price targets that I'm looking for. But it's holding up well in my opinion. JMIA, which we talked about yesterday, and I put a video out about a week ago or so. As I had mentioned in that original video, this was an excellent buy zone. And I drew that in before JMIA had gotten there. I put that video out like in this time frame, and I said, I'm going to consider cut lossing the shares I'm holding right now if it gets to this zone, because I think I bought those shares in like the 20s or something originally. But then I said if I cut loss, my re-entry point is like in this green box. I think it's a really great buying opportunity. And since then, we've seen it go from 33.5 to 49. So $16 a share or so in just a few days. So it's on a great run. I'm sort of looking for it to continue on into this $54 range. At the moment, it's 48, almost $49. And then coming up into this gap area would be a nice target for it, in my opinion. So congrats, JMIA. Rocket, RKT. It used to be a rocket. I guess it's sort of like, because it's now filling out here, maybe this now looks more like a rocket. It's just, now it's not in flight. It's, it's sitting on the ground. But it's just struggling in this kind of weird, slightly upward, mostly consolidation channel. So I think there's just like TBD on Rocket where it's going to go after that huge pump up into almost 50. It's about half the price at the moment, and it's going to have to work itself through these zones. And if it can't hold this bottom blue line here, 25.53, if that becomes resistance, there's quite a bit of room to fall, I think. Or even if it doesn't really plummet, I think it's gonna kind of just have this sad sideways movement at half the price that it previously was. So we'll see. A lot of room to do, or a lot of work to do if you are Rocket. IDEX, I've been looking for this one to sort of make its move up into the $5 range, which I think is going to happen at some point this year, which I know is like a long time frame for these analysis videos, but I still think that that's the case. One interesting thing here, this is on the 1 hour chart. Let's see what the 30-minute looks like. There's potentially like a nice channel forming here. We've had really good luck lately with the channels sort of playing out for a few days and kind of helping us predict the price action and find good entry points. So basically what we look for in the channel is basically if it can sustain this channel, it's a good sign, because again, we just sort of like have ideas and concepts of where the price is going, and if it falls out of the channel, then we know, hey, I should pay a little more attention to this because it's just broken with its most recent price activity, and so it's potentially going to fall lower, or maybe it's going to jump up much higher. Typically, if it breaks through a channel, it's not because it's going to like skyrocket in price. Often you'll see it sort of like peter out and fall out of the channel and turn downward. So that could be the case, but these channels are indicating like a good upward gain already. So falling out, if it does fall out, then we look for it to start to get caught by the support prices that we've drawn in on the chart horizontally. So we'll see if this channel holds, but I would feel pretty good. One thing that you look for if you suspect a channel is holding and that the price is going to stay within the channel is, you would consider buying. The dip in that case is as it gets close to the bottom of the channel because you're expecting it to bounce off of that. So that's sort of like what your dip buy zone becomes, is just the bottom of the channel. So that's the 30-minute IDEX chart. And the last one for this video is Workhorse. I ended up in Workhorse on last Friday or this Monday, whichever you consider. I took an assignment from a put option that I had written, a $15 put option that I had written. So that's working out well for me. And Workhorse is doing really good work here since it got beaten down after it didn't get that government contract, I think is what it was. And I think the market sort of realized that was a big overreaction. And so, the price deserves to be up quite a bit more. It had these crazy price levels before. This is another one that's half or even less than half of the price that it was pretty recently. So I'm going to have to draw in some new charts because these red and yellow were from when it was plummeting. So some of those zones might still hold, but obviously they don't need to be red and yellow. But I'll come back with a new updated chart shared on my Twitter and maybe put out another video with some updated and upgraded price targets for Workhorse as it sort of reverses that steep sell-off that it incurred the last few weeks. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And you can check on Twitter if you want to see sort of daily or more frequent updates on how plays are playing out. I try to throw in there sort of sometimes when I'm entering or exiting positions just so it's clear. I don't know if that's valuable at all. But that's all. Enjoy the upcoming weekend. We're almost there. And I will see you all in the next video.